Hello everyone, hope you're doing well. Hope you're looking after yourselves. Welcome to another episode, the first episode of 2025 of Senseis of Anime. We know it has been a while. We don't regularly post episodes on here, but we are moving and working on things so you can get more content from this channel. And there will be some more content coming out soon, so keep an eye out on the space. But essentially, as you all know, we love to discuss the world of anime and anime enthusiasts, people in the anime space, anime event owners, and all things in between. We love to learn about their journey, connect with them, and discuss, of course, the big question, what's the best anime of all time? But we're gonna dive into another episode with another amazing guest speaker. But as you know, I don't like to do introductions. I like for us to hear from our amazing guest speakers themselves. So could we please know a bit more about you and what you do?
Yeah, hey guys, I'm Djemy AKA Gato on Instagram, and I do pixel art and design. I'm a game development student currently, soon to be graduate. And I like all things anime, cosplay, and video games.
Oh, perfect, man. Thank you. It is not one of our questions, but what is the favorite character that you've cosplayed as?
Favorite character I've cosplayed as? Can't lie. I mean, I look good in the Blade cosplay. My Blade cosplay is pretty sick. And also, obviously, everyone knows me as the Green Ranger from My Morphins. Kind of, I guess, iconic at this point because they know me from that cosplay. But yeah, I'll say the Blade cosplay is pretty sick. I like that. I also did Generator X from Cartoon Network. Yeah, that was also pretty cool to do as well. So yeah, I'll say Blade. Blade's pretty sick. I like Blade.
Yeah. It's funny because we've got a sci-fi and fantasy podcast, and one of the things I've been talking about with the host is for those who, if you're like me and you're a Marvel enthusiast, you'll know there's been a Marshall Ali Blade film that's been in the works for a while. We're still yet to see it, still yet to hear a development about it. From like watching people who like, they like keep an eye on the news and like hear like leaks and stuff. Apparently it's just been stuck in like development.
Yeah, I don't know about that one, I can't lie. Yeah. The closest thing we'll probably get to is when a Blade releases on Marvel Rivals or something. So, I don't know.
No, it's difficult. Because even like, I think what someone said is interesting is, so I think it's coming out I think it's December this year, or between October and December. Marvel are releasing an animated show called Marvel Zombies.
Oh.
And in it, there's like this really weird twist on Blade. So it's supposed to be like Blade, but he's actually, so he's Moon Knight essentially. So
what?
So but the reason why it's interesting is because it was obviously designed that the Blade film would have come out before this TV show was going to come out. So people would already know the character. He'd already be introduced in the MCU, all of this stuff. Yeah. But obviously that's not been the case. And we're yet to hear like what's happening, if it's even going to happen before like Avengers Secret Wars and Doomsday come out. But yeah, man, I don't know. It will be interesting to see.
It's pretty weird.
Yeah.
So what, is he like, an alternate universe where he's Moon Knight?
Yeah.
Something like that.
So I think he's still part, I don't know. We'll see later this year. But my assumption is he'll still be like part vampire, part human, but then he'll also basically be the avatar for Khonshu, the moon god.
I don't know. I didn't see Blade being an avatar for anyone. I can't lie.
I know what you mean.
Because of his character and all that. I don't know. I feel like they'll be buying heads quite a bit. I don't know. Well, interesting.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see. And again with that, like, so I know in the animated TV shows, sometimes certain actors will voice their character.
Yeah.
I don't know if Marshall Ali is going to come back to voice Blade. I don't know if he wants to voice Blade. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see. I'm very much just like, yeah, it'll be pretty cool. Yeah. Blade content I love. Again, this is on our gaming podcast, but I have mentioned that the Blade, there are from the people who designed Deathloop and like games like that, they are working on a Blade game.
Yeah, I did see that a while ago.
I'm excited.
Teaser.
Yeah, the teaser. Yeah, I'm excited. I'm like, I've seen their previous games and their previous games are really cool. I always recommend Deathloop to people. It's a fun and like lighthearted game. But it's one of those ones where like you have to know the full story, you do need to like investigate and read stuff. But even like the story, as if you just want to just play it and get through the game, it is still pretty fun. But yeah, no, definitely. Like and funnily enough, one of our questions is on you being Blade. So I'll
Yeah.
save that. I'll save more Blade stuff for then.
Okay.
But yeah, we're going to go to the first question, which is all about you being both a student, and as you said, you're just about to graduate.
Yeah.
But you're also a creator. So as a games development student, and as someone who's launching an art brand, how has your love for anime, games, and cinema shaped your creative journey and your future goals?
Yeah. I mean, I guess, pretty much my mom introduced me to like the world of cinema. She's always been taking me to cinemas for the longest time. So, and obviously she used to pay for like Sky and stuff. So I'd always watch Cartoon Network, all the cartoons and things like that. So that being said, when I started getting into art, I already had all this creative inspiration from, the stuff I've already consumed.
Yeah.
So I guess pretty much it was kind of, I don't know. I'm not going to say destiny because, I don't know, it's a bit weird, but I don't know. I just feel like it's funny that I end up doing what I was inspired by anyway. But yeah, I mean, about my art brand, Gato's Pixel, I basically do pixel art and design, from people that have already seen my Instagram page and stuff like that. Yeah, I'm just inspired by, pop culture, essentially. But one thing I do want to get into more is like the black side of pop culture. There's a lot of cool stuff coming out. There's Ianu that's coming out in like, I don't know, but it's very soon. Like that's going to be out on Cartoon Network soon. So that's pretty sick. That's completely like, I believe Nigerian inspired comic book novels, animated series. So that's pretty sick. I hope to do more African inspired things with my art.
Yeah, no, definitely, man. And even like, it's interesting that you mentioned that because, yeah, like you said, there's a lot more like focus on like people's like cultures and like stories. I tell people like a big example is, so for their first season, it was, see, this is why the laptop has to be so I don't embarrass myself and say things wrong. Yeah, Star Wars Visions. So Star Wars Visions was like an animated show on Disney Plus. And it has, I don't know if it's going to get more seasons, but it at least has 2. The first season was basically telling unique and untold, like it was basically like giving anime studios the opportunity to tell stories in Star Wars, but it was all about like from their own like animation style. Yeah. So each episode is very much different. But people were just like, it's really cool because you're seeing like almost like, so like for some of it was like a samurai story, but like Star Wars inspired and all of this.
Oh, that's sick. I need to check that out.
Honestly, I would recommend, man. Like, it's really cool.
That's cold.
And then the second season went even further. So it was now like, okay, we're going to actually expand to other cultures. Yeah. So they worked with like African studios. They worked with studios in Asia and like across like the whole world to then do the animation style in their own, like in their country style and like relate to like stories that would like, I guess like seeing, obviously, it's Star Wars, it's not based in the real world, all that stuff. Yeah. But you're seeing like similarities to it. So you might see certain things, like you said, like if it's Nigerian, it might be like the colors or the art style is reminiscent of like different parts of different cultures within Nigeria. But yeah, to me, that's like really cool because I was just like, oh, you're actually letting creatives and artists like tell their own culture story.
I like stuff like that. Yeah. Especially with Star Wars, it makes sense. For like Star Wars is obviously sci-fi, but watching Star Wars, the Clone Wars, Star Wars movies is always has stuff related to like real life, politics, cultural, just Star Wars is a really good series. I recommend Star Wars, the Clone Wars highly for anyone. It's not just lightsabers and, spaceship battles, actually a lot deeper storyline.
Yeah, no, definitely. And I think even like what you said there, like, that's why I also like anime, because anime is very like, and I think people have, and I don't think it's one of the questions we've got today, but I think it's one of the things that people do feel sometimes about anime is like, it's either very childish because it's animation. They're just like, oh, all anime is kind of like Pokemon and it's just like, oh, there's no like serious stories. It's not like tough. It's not like, and I think what people get surprised by, and again, I might need to get my laptop out to
that's some dark anime, man. They'll be surprised.
I think the biggest some people say is like, I'm pretty sure I'm like the top rated on IMDb. Yeah. I'm getting out now to confirm.
Probably Attack of Titan or something.
So in the top 10, which people may like, if you haven't watched this, please, I would say watch the animated version before the live action. Avatar: The Last Airbender is in the top 10 top rated TV shows.
As it should.
On IMDb. And I'm pretty sure Attack on Titan, I'm pretty sure, let me just do TV episodes. I'm pretty sure either I don't remember which season. Let me confirm this, but I'm pretty sure its episodes, one of its episodes is in the top, either in the top 5 or the top 10. So even now, I've got it up actually. So Vinland Saga, there's an episode from Vinland Saga in the top 5.
Okay.
Vote, and this is all like voted by people. Avatar: The Last Airbender, the last episode, so the series finale, that's number 6. If we go further, Invincible, another animated show, that's in the top 15. But I guess essentially, like, especially with the anime theme stuff, it's like, no, like anime is, and I guess it's like we said about Star Wars, anime, whether it's based in the real world or if it's not, like, it's able to tell really impactful stories.
Yeah.
And people have even said, like, if you look at, like you said, like, if you're looking at culture and you're looking at how, like, you want to portray a message, you want to showcase to people, like, why something is so impactful, or is really important, or is, like, you know, inspiring, or, like, even, I think, people say, like, anime villains are not just, like, yeah, there are some villains that are just, like, pure evil in anime.
Yeah.
And you're just like, damn, this person's, like, evil. But then you've got villains that, and I think, like, I've got the shirt on, like, people, if you watched it before, you know I'm a massive Naruto fan. But, like, I've always said about Naruto, for a lot of the villains in Naruto, they're not, like, bad people. It highlights the idea of, like, circumstances can make an individual a bad person.
That's real life stuff, to be honest, man. You know, a lot of things happen. Maybe we seen as the bad guy on the other side, but they're also the bad guy to you. You know what I mean? So it's just perspective and all of that.
100%.
So yeah, Naruto's sick for that. I like Naruto. Naruto's pretty sick.
Yeah.
But it's not my favorite though.
Okay.
Naruto's sick, but it's not my favorite.
Okay. I'll say, let's hold off. We will be asking you what your favorite is.
Yeah.
So yeah, let's keep that. That's actually fun enough. The last question is going to be your top recommendations on anime gaming and recommending any cosplay, your favorite cosplay moment as well.
Okay.
But yeah, so I'd say start thinking about that.
Yeah.
But we'll go into the next question, which is all about, as you mentioned, it's all about like cosplay. And as you mentioned, you've mentioned actually in our bio that there's only one blade. Which both is a play on words, because one, you could be referring to yourself as you're cosplaying as Blade, but also if anyone who's watched Deadpool and Wolverine, that's a line that Wesley Snipes, who is currently the only person to play Blade in live action, mentions as well. So I guess my question to you is not specifically just cosplaying Blade.
Yeah.
What drew you to cosplaying as a whole? And if you do want to talk about what drew you to cosplaying as Blade, let us know. But how does cosplay serve as an outlet for your, like, celebrating your creative identity, and creativity as a whole within both anime and gaming?
Yeah. So I started going to like events. So my first con was like London and Anime Gaming Con, like Hammersmith. So that was pretty sick. I've seen a lot of cool cosplays. I mean, I wasn't really getting into it back then, but like, you know, bought a mask and stuff. Headbands. I guess that's like the starter pack, right? And then slowly it was the Karski cloak, which is pretty cool. And then I think it was like, it was a Red Bull Sphere event, Anime and Chill. You know, I just saw, you know, a lot of cool cosplays and stuff like that. I met a lot of new people. Then from that day, I decided, you know what? Let me look up some cosplays. Let me try and get signed for the next event. Then I decided on getting the Green Ranger, Mighty Morphins. So then I got that, went to Anime District, the event in somewhere in Shoreditch. I don't remember the exact venue. But yeah, it was great. You know, I was getting loads of compliments, stuff like loads of pictures. I was like, yo, this is kind of cool, man.
Yeah.
Like, I really like cosplay. I could like cosplay as like my favorite characters, not just anime. Even though I do like anime, I'm more of like cartoons and stuff like that. So I like, you know, I'll try to do more cartoon media. Yeah. So yeah. I mean, cosplay is great, man. I've met a lot of new people from cosplay. So yeah, I haven't even been doing it that long, to be honest. Like, all of this happened literally last year. So yeah, I mean, a lot can happen in the year when you decide to like try new things and just be yourself.
Yeah, man.
That's what I would say.
Appreciate that. And I think like a key thing that you mentioned there is like and that's what I say about like, I love being a part of like, whether it's anime or gaming communities, because like one of the most welcoming people.
For
like
sure.
you said, like they don't care if you're like dressed in like you said, like full, like I think like any con is like a perfect example to see, because you see certain people go Like,
all on that.
like, with the face paint, they got like all kinds of stuff. And I'm just like, damn, like, you know the skill, like how skilled you must be to commit to this. And like, so I think for me, it's like, and this isn't saying like whether you, like, if you want to get into cosplay, you have to like design everything. Like, I know, like, even myself, like, sometimes I will just like, if there's a costume that I can find online, like, I will just buy it. But like, I tell people, like, it's really cool because you can ask people like, oh yeah, like, how did you design this? Like, how did you sew this? Like, did you sew this yourself? Were you able to make all the materials yourself? And like, you'll be surprised, like, how people are able to create like some incredible pieces of like cosplay. And like, and I think like I think it's mainly because like in different parts of America, they're able to like be able to make like these bigger costumes. But like, I remember I saw someone in like a Hulkbuster costume.
Whoa.
And it wasn't even like, oh, it's like cardboard. Well, like cardboard, this guy like made it. And it was like, he used, I don't remember, like he explained it. I barely remember it. But like, he was just like, oh yeah, I use this type of metal and I like bent it. And then he basically built like a functioning one that he was like walking on stilts. And I was just like, damn.
That's sick.
I was like,
actual metal as well. That's pretty sick, man.
So I was just like, and I think that's it. Like, and similar to even what you've mentioned, like, it's incredible to see the creativity that goes into like this costume design and like being around people. Cause even as you said, like sometimes it gets to a point where, especially if you've been a part of like these communities for a while, even if you get heavily involved, like people, you might say, oh, actually, hey, I want to be, I don't know, like Doctor Strange, Comic-Con this year. And they'll be like, oh, well, if you want to get if you want to make the costume yourself, like this is a cool website to go to this. So you can like pay for this and pay for that and do this and do that. And then you're just like, damn, like, thank you so much. Like, I was struggling to find where I could get these materials and get this and that. And then someone just like solve it so quickly. And I feel like that's what makes anime communities like so cool. It's just like, there's so many people doing like so many different things. And I think one final thing to say about it is, for me, it's like really nice because everyone there is like either passionate or interested in like either anime or gaming. But it's cool because like some people might be like, oh yeah, like I'm a full-time, I don't know, like
graphic designer.
Or even like some people might be like, oh, I've got like, I don't know, like I'm a lawyer and I like work on stuff like full-time. Or like I'm literally got a court case tomorrow morning that I need to get ready for. But the night before they're like chilling, dressed up as like the Akatsuki and you're just like, oh, okay. But I think it's that like people forget like how, and I know like people like there's been like people talking about like, especially for like black people, like how anime almost feels like integrated into black culture now. But yeah, so cool. I tell people like, give anime a chance. They're also, anime's been around for like a long time. There is at least one anime that, or like even like one section of anime that will cover your interests. So please, anyone watching, I'm looking at all three cameras now. Like anyone watching, if you're interested in anime, please just give it a chance. There will be one that will just like, you'll connect with you. Yes, you've got ones like One Piece, which is the one that everyone references when they want to hear like anime. They're just like, oh, it's got over 1,000. I can't commit. And I'm like, cool. But there are some that are very short. They're like 24 seasons. That's basically almost a TV show. And I'm just like, just give it a chance. You never know.
For sure. Yeah, there's anime about almost everything. Snooker, table tennis. You know, I don't remember when I saw it, but there was like this anime, it was like kind of like track, but it was like girls like running around this like racetrack sort of thing. It was almost like horse racing, but it was like girls. It was weird, but it looked kind of, but anime covers everything, basically is the point.
Yeah, definitely. We're going to go on to the next question, which is all about the importance of representation in anime and gaming. So I'd like to ask you, what are your thoughts on how black characters and creators are represented in anime and gaming culture? And how do you hope your art brand contributes to that conversation?
Yeah. So nice question. I feel like black characters or like black or Afro incorporated things in gaming has gotten a lot better. You know, when I used to play like games and stuff, I'll be like, you know, when you go to hairstyles or you're trying to customize your character, you're like, this doesn't look that great, but I'm going to roll with it anyway because that's the only options that they have. But yeah, it's cool that it's improved. You know, you have people incorporate like hairstyles. I think they're trying to do it on like Instagram and stuff like that, more like black oriented emojis and stuff like that. With like black characters in anime, there's actually quite a few, which I was not surprised by, but obviously, you know, anime is like predominantly Japanese and stuff like that. But it is cool to see like a cool, you know, anime black character, you know? Like I think anime does a good job at that, even though they might not be the main character, but they're always one of the coolest characters that you see in that show. And for my brand, I would say trying to like incorporate more, I guess, black creators. So for example, I wanted to like design this black female rapper from America. I think her name's Raina Simone, I believe. So yeah, she actually got back to me, which is interesting. You know, she'll be honored to like, you know, if I design her. So, you know, just stuff like that, just getting in touch with like more black creatives and incorporating them into my art some way. So yeah.
Yeah, that's perfect, man. No, thank you. And I think, like you said, it's like there are really cool characters. You got people like Killer Bee, you got Afro Samurai,
Rocklock from The Hero Academia, you know.
And it's like we said, like they're not like I know a lot of people say like it is sick to see like for example with like Killer Bee, it's sick to see like how I guess people said like of all the and like for narrative fans I don't understand, but essentially Killer Bee is among a group of people that not because of their race, just because of situations and circumstances related to the anime, this group of people are mistreated by their village that they're from. But like someone said, like it was cool to see like Killer Bee was just like, I'm gonna do my own thing. Like,
yeah, for sure. I mean, even the Raikages, like, you know, they're pretty powerful. You know, it's pretty sick. It's sick.
We're gonna go into our quickfire questions, where I don't have an actual timer, so instead I'm just we're gonna have to do.
I'll try to do as fast as I can. I'll try to do as fast.
So this one is a tough one.
Yeah.
I know you also mentioned that you watch Cartoon Network as well.
Yeah.
So this is gonna be. Okay. So the first question is, who is your favorite all-time character? So anime, from gaming.
Cartoon, just character
from
everything. Yeah. That's a crazy one. I can't lie. What's my favorite character out of all the media that's about? That's crazy. I mean, I guess I'll just kind of say one, but he might not be, she might not be my favorite. Let me try to think. Let me see. I can't lie. I'm gonna say someone from Blue Lock. Because I really like Blue Lock. I'm going to say either, let me see. I like Bachira, actually. You know why? Because he's like, the way he plays is very Brazilian. I really like Bachira. You know, he plays for fun. You know, he just does his own thing. You know, I feel like football these days, it can feel a bit repetitive and robotic. You know, there's too many same kinds of players. No one's really expressing themselves out on the pitch, but you get those few players, you know, that do their own thing, and it's pretty cool to see. An example in the Premier League would be, I don't know, I guess people say Cole Palmer, right? Because of the way he plays, right? It's very much street football or cage football, as I like to call it, because here in London we just play cage football and stuff like that. But yeah, I'll say Batra is pretty cool. I like Batra. Okay. He has a lot of potential, I feel like, definitely. But yeah, I guess, I'll just stick with Batra,
Perfect, cool. Next one is a quick anime recommendation for anyone who wants to get into anime.
Anime recommendation. Okay. Okay, it has to be an anime that everyone can get into because I know some people don't really... I'd say, have you heard of Kabineri of the Iron Fortress?
No.
So essentially, it's like horror thriller type of anime with loads of action. It's pretty sick. It's very short too. I think it's like 12 or around 12 to 15 episodes. Okay. But it's pretty sick. It's essentially like this zombie apocalyptic type world, and then there's these mutated like individuals called Cabineri, which is basically they're half zombie and half human, essentially, and they have like all these superhuman abilities and stuff like that. So I would say that would be a pretty cool anime. You know, it's short, not too long. You can definitely finish it within a day. So yeah, check out Cabineri of the Iron Fortress. Then if it's on Netflix or whatever, but yeah, you can definitely find that.
Yeah, sick. Perfect. One cartoon character who significantly influenced your artistic style.
Oh, one cartoon character.
Yeah.
Okay. That's pretty interesting. My art style, you say? I can't lie. I'm not gonna say, I wouldn't say Blue Lock completely inspired my art because I was doing art like way before. But I do like the dynamic scenes that they have in Blue Lock, you know, of characters doing just athletic things like bicycle kicks or just, yeah, basically just acrobatic skills and stuff like that. I really like as I was growing up, one thing that I liked about art is how people could like depict like dynamic movements, you know? So, but I did watch a lot of Cartoon Network. There was a lot of weird and wacky cartoons like Chowder, you had Adventures of Billy and Mandy. You know, you had, what else? I don't know if you've heard of Hero 108. You know, a lot of cool stuff I grew up watching. So I would say probably more Cartoon Network influenced my artistic vision more than anime. But yeah, in terms of like Blue Lock, I would say, yeah, I like the way they draw like poses and stuff like that.
Cool. Perfect. For all our gaming fans out there, where do you prefer to game on? PC, console, or handheld?
Oh, I would say it's preference, to be honest. I know and people always say, you know, PC is like the master race or whatever. But yeah, I mean, I've played basically everything. Okay. You know, I grew up, I had the Game Boy, you know, I had the PSP, you know, PS3, and now I currently have Xbox Series X, and I've also have a gaming laptop, and I've, you know, played on gaming PCs before. And people always recommend PCs, to be honest, just because you can play anything on there. But the only thing I would say about PC is that sometimes you have to wait longer for like console release games, which kind of sucks. But yeah, I would say it's preference. You know, handheld, console is up to you, to be honest. I always game on console. I'm yet to actually get another handheld because I don't know. I feel like they're all kind of dead these days.
And even I know we've got I say we, as in like me, but as in this is more general. Nintendo have announced a new Switch. It's coming out in June. I was very surprised when I heard June. I was also surprised by the price, because the price is almost the same. I think it's either the same price or as expensive as the Xbox Series X, PS5.
Yeah.
And I know the games are almost the same price as PS5 and Xbox games, which has started a whole conversation on, particularly with Nintendo, on like, is what they offer enough? Because like I guess like, and we will go back to these short quickfire questions, but I guess the main thing people have been saying is like, it is interesting that like handheld games are almost the same price. So like with Nintendo specifically, the argument is, you're paying almost full price for these games. And the main thing about Nintendo is like, you can't play like Zelda on any other console, or like PC. You can't play, Pokemon is another one. You can't play that on anything else. And they were saying like these exclusive games that they've got, yes, that like people love Pokemon, people love Legends of Zelda. But the argument is if that's it, like, yeah, you may update the graphics, you may do all of this, you may like with the new Switch, there's all this like customizable stuff and new stuff. But they were saying like with the Xbox or with the PlayStation, or even like you said, like with the PC, there's so much variety. And even like PlayStation have now gotten to that stage. So as you mentioned, you know, PlayStation exclusives will stay exclusive for a while, but then they'll also come out on PC maybe people are just commenting in the live stream like, bring the price down. Like, yeah, I don't know what's gonna happen.
It's crazy, man. Like I did a poll on Instagram. I'll see how it's doing now, but basically, yeah, someone done a post on the Nintendo Switch price and the games, which are basically like going to be like 80 to 90 pound apparently, which is crazy because I'm not paying that for like cutesy style games. Like, come on, man. Like, that's nah. If it's that price, it has to be like a bundle or something. You know what I mean? You have to get like add-ons or collectibles with that game or something at least. You know, or maybe it's Ultimate Edition, Platinum, whatever edition it is. But yeah, Nintendo with this exclusive mindset. It's like I don't know, man. I've never really been a big Nintendo fan anyway. But like these prices is crazy. I mean, they even tried to like sue Power World because they're apparently like copying Pokemon or whatever, but they lost that anyway because Power World will be Cosplay soon, I believe, as well, which is cool. I have friends that play Power Worlds. So yeah, I mean, I don't know. One thing that did surprise a lot of my colleagues actually, because we were watching the Nintendo Live at uni. Was From Software, so the creators of Elden Ring. They have an exclusive game on the Switch, which was surprising because, you know, everyone likes Souls-like game, and then now there's a new title, but you're going to have to get the Switch too if you want to play that. It's like, I might as well just play Elden Ring then. I'll wait for the new one, right? What's the point of buying this 400 plus device and then paying like £80-90 for like these games, and I don't know, man. It's just I don't know, whatever. Nintendo's Nintendo, I guess.
I think it'll be interesting to see. I think it's just one of those things where I don't know. I think by like obviously there's usually sales anyways at Christmas, but I think they'll review it by like September, October, and see like if sales aren't good. Because even like I've heard apparently, because I think PlayStation have announced that they're working on like, they want to also have handheld stuff. Yeah. Apparently Xbox are also looking to do something similar too. So
Xbox already has that in the bag. That's literally coming out like very soon.
And I'm just like, and I think what's interesting is that like Xbox and Sony have been like, we understand exclusivity, or like even like long-term exclusivity, so keeping our games on our platform forever it's not gonna work long term. And they're like, okay, cool. So with Xbox, usually if it comes on, like if it's an Xbox exclusive, it'll come out day one on Xbox, but then it'll usually come out on Game Pass or at the same time. So even if you've got a PC, you can still play it. Yeah. With PlayStation, they've been like, cool, we're gonna release mainly on Xbox, on PlayStation, then we're gonna eventually move it to coming on PC or through Steam or Epic Games or like anything else. Maybe 2 years, maybe depending on how big the game is, maybe a year later. But yeah, I'm just like with Nintendo, if you just focus on like being super exclusive, like you've just got to like, and especially at that price range, because I was thinking, they'll probably like it'll probably have to bump up the price because people will just be like, I'll just buy the original Switch. But I was just like, when I saw the price, I was like, that's basically. That's an Xbox Series X price. Yeah. That's a PlayStation 5 price. Yeah. And I was literally, like you said, like, for the variety of games that are exclusively on Nintendo, doesn't make sense to pay that price. Like, when you could get exclusive games. And also, I don't think, because, I think Nintendo is the only, like, console that doesn't do, like, free, giveaway free, like, do you have something like Game Pass? Because I know PlayStation have their, like, monthly, So, which is, again, that's another thing that, like Xbox fans like, because they're like, okay, cool. Subscribe to Game Pass, get a whole wide of games that I can get for free. I can play them each month. Sometimes they stay there forever. Sometimes they come in and out, but it's at least a nice way to like test new games. Yeah. PlayStation have the same thing. So they give away like, I think it's like 2 or 3 games per month, for free, or you can play them for free within specific dates. Yeah. But yeah, literally just think about it now. I was like, Nintendo doesn't have that. And again, that's one thing that makes like, for a gamer, you're like, okay, cool, I might pay for an Xbox Series X, but then I'll pay for Game Pass monthly, and that will give me like any Xbox exclusive day one, I can play for free. And you're just like, great, I've literally saved money because I don't have to pay for like the new COD that's coming out this year. Yeah, for real. So I think it's an interesting conversation. And it'll be interesting to, I'm like, let's see, because I'm just like, they're very confident with this June thing. But all I'm saying is like, if literally, like we said, like if Xbox or PlayStation drop their handheld, let's say by like September, October, or even like just before Christmas.
Yeah.
And it's like, even if it's £100 or £200 cheaper, people will just be like, I'll just get an Xbox.
For sure. Yeah. And with the Xbox One, you'll actually be able to play like PlayStation games on it as well, which is a big W. You know, that's so cool. You'll be able to play all these games on handheld. That's so sick. You know, I feel like handheld's been missing for quite a while. I know you have the Switch, but you know, it's not the same as Switch. You know what I mean? It's like, yeah, that's, yeah. Hopefully Xbox does well with that one. Hopefully it does well. Because, yeah, I don't know. With Switch, I guess maybe it's for the hardcore fans, right? You know, you have the new Mario Kart Worlds game, new Donkey Kong game, a new Kirby game as well, the, you know, Souls-like game, the new title from Software, and, yeah, whole other titles also. I guess they're, I don't know, kind of relying on those hardcore Nintendo fans, but I'm not sure how that will go.
No, I agree, man. I agree. Comes to the last two questions. So, yeah, 2 or 3. What game is currently taking the most of your time?
What game is currently taking the most of my time? Interesting. I play quite a lot of games, you know, but one game that definitely was or has been taking my time is probably, I would say the most will probably be Hogwarts Legacy, or Star Wars Jedi Survivor. I really like those 2 games. They're really good. But Hogwarts Legacy, you know, I guess people are not too big of fans of Hogwarts Legacy, but I really liked it. It was really cool. You know, you got to explore Hogwarts, you know, you got to do magic, obviously, and, you know, the character customization was very good on that game. And there wasn't all this, you know, strange, you know, customizable options of like black characters and stuff, you know, it was all good. So, but yeah, these days, it'll probably be like a variety of games, to be honest. I like to mix and match. I do gaming content as a hobby, you know, for fun, like YouTube and Twitch. Play quite a lot of different games. But one game that I am looking forward to is Midnight Suns. I believe if I said that right.
Midnight Suns?
No, it's like South of the Midnight. South of the Midnight. That game looks so sick. I like how it's inspired. It's like this black gothic type of theme. You know, stop motion as well, which is pretty sick. So I'm looking forward to that title for sure.
I think it literally comes out, I think
very soon. Very soon.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that too, man. It looks pretty sick. I'll go, because I know for time, we'll go to the last question.
Yeah.
Dream destination for your next artistic inspiration.
Dream destination for my neck. That rhymed as well. Dream destination.
Yeah.
Okay, so what area would I use to inspire my next art piece? Interesting. So since I want to get into more Afro-inspired art, I would say I'm going to look for inspiration from, you know, my country, which is Angola, you know. So yeah, as well as other places. But yeah, I think Angola. I feel like I know a bit, but not too much. So I want to use this to research more into the art side of my country. Yeah. So yeah, I'm gonna try to use my country for that, and obviously other related countries as well in Africa.
Yeah, that's really cool, and I think it'll be great to I think especially going home is really it puts not necessarily puts stuff in perspective for you, but it also allows you to because I've said it before, London is quite busy.
Yeah.
I know even friends who didn't grow up in London, they're just it's the biggest change for them if they grew up in somewhere that's a bit of a smaller city or outside of London, life is a bit more chill. And I think that's one of the things that going to your home country if you're not from the UK, also depends on what country you're from, because if you're from another big city, you're probably used to it. But I think that's why going home, at least for me, I like it because sometimes it's a slower pace, and you just see that people just I don't know, whether it's like they're grateful for like every day, or they're like, oh, you know, like grateful for like it being sunny, or like they're just chill, they're really relaxing and enjoying themselves. Whereas like sometimes I can feel like in London, like even like on the like commute in, like everyone just like, you know, they just focus, like, oh, get here, get out of the way.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's this like huge appreciation that can come from just like being in like surrounding yourself with like other people and being at home, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, Africa has, you know, my continent has everything, man. Like, it just definitely has a lot of potential. You know what I mean? You have the Sahel states doing their thing. So yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing that progression within the next few years of those countries, and hopefully more countries follow as well.
100%. Definitely. We're going to go on to the next question of our listed questions, and this is all about the synergy, because even though for people watching, we have a gaming and we also have an anime podcast, we have said on both that there is a massive synergy between the two. It sometimes feels like you can't be an anime fan if you're not a gaming fan, or vice versa. But, you know, as someone who's passionate about both anime, but also game development, what's your take on how anime is evolving in the gaming world? And I think key examples of this are we're seeing things. So there's like two examples. So one example is you have an anime and it gets turned into a game. So you've got like Naruto, like Storm, and all of the, like literally the whole series of that.
Yeah.
You've got all the different Dragon Ball like video games. But then you've also got stuff like Cyberpunk, which was a video game first. And then that led to Cyberpunk Edge Runners being developed as a like anime attached to it. So how are you seeing that anime is evolving in the gaming world? And I guess also, like in the case of Edge Runner, how is the gaming world evolving anime?
Yeah, gaming is a big industry. It grows. It's growing by the year. You know, I don't know how much it's estimated at, but it's in the billions. You know, you have Saudi Arabia investing heavily in it. But yeah, for like animation and gaming, or anime and gaming, I feel like they mix very well. You know, like for Naruto Shippuden, for example, like I didn't watch the whole thing. I mainly filled in the gaps by playing the games, you know, because it's more interactive and you're actually playing the scenes, which is pretty sick. So, but I feel like it's a bit copy and paste almost. I feel like if you are gonna make an anime game, I feel like don't try to kind of replicate the whole Shippuden fight thing. You know, I feel like they should try and basically be a lot more creative with it. You know, but yeah, I mean, Dragon Ball games do pretty well every time they come out. But yeah, I think it would be cool to see more anime games, but I guess, yeah, just more creativity, you know? Like Yakuza, for example, you know what I mean? It's pretty much open world. You have this crazy storyline. You could do a bunch of weird side quests and stuff like that. And I feel like a lot of anime would suit that. You know, One Piece would definitely suit that.
100%.
You know, that would be sick, an open world One Piece game. You can travel to this place, that place. You know, perhaps you can even make your own pirate crew. I know there's a lot of potential, you know? So, yeah, I would say anime in the gaming space is there, but I feel like it's not as strong as other genres. But I feel like it can definitely have a lot more potential for sure.
Definitely. And I think it's like what you said, like, you know, if you look at like superheroes have been in the gaming industry for a while. You know, even in the last couple of years, we've seen like really big budget developed video games based on superheroes, like the Spider-Man, Marvel Spider-Man, and that all of the stuff in there. There's like a Black Panther game being developed, an Iron Man game, Blade game, like we mentioned,
Wolverine
as well. But it's like we said, like with the anime ones, it tends to just be like like 1v1 or like 3v3 fighting game. Whereas, like you said, like these animes have like really cool worlds that are a part of them. So I know even like some people are saying, and I know I'm not like the biggest advocate for online games, because I also do like single player games and like having a curated story. But like people are saying like for example, My Hero could be a perfect example. Because, like, for example, there's, for anyone watching who doesn't know, there's like DC have their own online game called DC Universe Online.
Yep.
And I know Marvel tried to do theirs, but it didn't essentially work because for different reasons. But the DC one works because it's like, okay, cool. So you play as an individual. You can either decide, it's almost the same concept of like a My Hero online game could work. Everyone in the city ends up getting like superpowers because of something. And then you can either basically side with the superheroes and you get rescued by the superheroes and you work with them and you get all these powers, all this stuff, or you work with the villains. And to me, I was just like, well, sure, you could just literally do that in My Hero. So you start off with someone with quirks, you're developing your quirk. For those who don't know, that's the superpowers that they call in My Hero. And yeah, just give people like a list of quirks and it's just like, cool. So you're in like, and literally how they do in the TV show, you're based in one city and then it could be you sign up to an agency. Maybe it's an agency like that's actually in the anime. Maybe it's a completely different one. But I'm just like, you could do it as an online game, even as a single player like storyline game.
Yeah. Definitely, for sure. That's what I'm saying. There's no potential, but they keep doing this 1v1, 3v3 fight stuff. It's like, no, man, come on, man. It's like, yeah, even with that, with the My Hero Academia thing, you can, I don't know, a game that you could blend that well with would probably be like Infamous. You know, Infamous, you can be good or bad. You know, it's up to you. That'd be pretty sick. You know, to incorporate that with like Hero Academia. You know what I mean? We've seen plenty of times in the anime, characters shifting and all of that. That would be so sick. Like an open world Hero Academia game. You have your own character. There's a storyline perhaps. And after that, maybe you could like, you're free to roam around, play online with friends. You know what I mean? Well, yeah, it can definitely be an RPG like Hero Academia. That would be so sick. So much potential with that, but they keep going back to the fighting stuff.
No, 100%, man. But yeah, no, I definitely agree. We've come to the last question, which, as I teased at the start. So it's if you could recommend one anime, one game. So actually, this isn't, funnily enough, a recommendation for people to like watch. This is actually about you.
Yeah.
So if you could recommend one anime, one game, and one cosplay moment that best describes your vibe, what would they be and why?
Okay, cool. That's a good one. Okay, so an anime that would probably represent me. I would say Blue Lock, man. Blue Lock is so good. I really like Blue Lock. Just the whole mentality of ego and then just becoming the best version of yourself. I feel like I relate to that as someone who used to play football competitively, stuff like that. But yeah, Blue Lock is definitely up there. And one game, well, it doesn't really exist anymore, unfortunately. But it was PES. I really like PES, Pro Evolution Soccer. That was a really good game. Not just playing football, but in sports games you have like the career mode where you could customize your own player. I've always loved doing that. I have like I don't know how many characters I've made throughout my time playing those games, but it was always cool to develop your own character and become the best player in whatever team, whatever league, win all these trophies and all of that, and then retire then and then do it again with another character. So that was always fun. And what was the last one?
A cosplay moment.
A cosplay moment. I'll probably say We Touch Grass, which is this Sunday, literally. So it'll probably be like I was in the Green Ranger Mighty Morphin's fit and I was dancing, and then the DJ put the Mighty Morphin's theme song on.
Nice.
That was pretty sick. That was a pretty sick moment. I have that on my Instagram. But yeah, I'd say that one. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, thank you very much, man. And that's us. So we're now at the end of the episode. Thank you so much for coming.
Yeah, thank you for the invite.
How can people connect? You mentioned also that you have you do gaming content outside like your content. So how can people connect? How can they find out more about you? How can they follow you? If you've got anything coming up over the next couple of weeks you want people to be aware of, this is your opportunity to shout it out. Yeah, I would say pretty much just, look out for my brand, Gato's Pixel. So GATOS _Pixel, PIXEL. And then, my more, I guess they're both my main page. I post on both. But yeah, that'll be just Gato, which is the same thing, just, GUST and then O and then GATO. I post
you know, I'm posting a lot of gaming stuff, you know, incorporating with my game development life side of things, as well as the cosplay and anime events with Anime District. I post on there, and then obviously on the brand page, I'm posting collaborations and commissions that I'm doing, which look out for the, you know, collabs that are coming up. Pretty cool stuff. And yeah, connect with me on, I don't know if you have LinkedIn. My name is Djemy, DJEMY, and then Oliveira, OIVEIRA. You can connect with me on LinkedIn. I'm very active on there. And yeah.
Yeah. Perfect. Thank you, Jamie. And thank you to you, our wonderful audience, for coming back. If you like this episode, like, comment, subscribe. It's always appreciated. Let us know in the comments if you have any other anime recommendations or anything you want to know, you wanted to mention from this episode. If you want to make sure you don't miss other episodes or other bits of content on the Senseis of Anime channel, then make sure that you click the notification bell at the bottom of the video. If you would like to receive some merch, get discounted tickets on our paid events, or if you just want to support the incredible work that we do here, then please make sure you check out our Patreon page, which is linked down below. And then finally, if you want to learn about the other stuff that we do, so we have our sci-fi and fantasy channel called Two Maesters. We have our gaming channel called Pick Up the Controller. And then we have our like general, more like careers, entrepreneurship, sustainability, like a whole host of like professional and personal development podcasts. You can check that on the main Pick Up the Mic channel, and you'll see now there's like a nice cool video that breaks down where you can find that. So literally, if you scroll down past the For You section on our YouTube page, you'll see all 3 channels listed below, and you can click the subscribe button and also the notification bell as well, so you don't miss any of the content that comes out on those channels too. But yeah, that's this episode done. We're all wrapped up. Thank you again, and we'll see you in the next episode when we discuss another topic. So that's bye from us, and have a great day.
See you.